everyone, and welcome to the Kittens of War Gaming Podcast, the gaming podcast where we talk all things video games, gaming news, and we overview games also of ourselves. This week we have the cornerstones of the Kittens of War Gaming Podcast. They are here to give you their thoughts on various games and the news, as we said there before. We have Tom, Haley, and Chris. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You guys don't know this, but I'm drinking beer, so yeah.
Is that becoming a regular thing now? Because you've done that in like your last Let's Talk Wrestling podcast as well.
I'm still feeling like in a celebratory mood, so
yeah.
And I thought, like, with that podcast I talk a lot, so I didn't have a lot of time. But with this, there's more people, less talking for me you have to do. So I thought, I'm gonna have more time to drink more beer, so that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. So I apologise to you guys and to our audience. At the end, I start slurring. I'm like, "Oh, fuck you guys!"
Yeah. Fuck you, you son of a bitch.
Professionalism? What's that?
Yeah. So how you guys all doing this week?
Not bad.
Yeah. We had a big Left 4 Dead 2 night last night.
Oh God, did we? Yeah.
That was fun.
Chris is going to have some videos of that, so check on his channel. And also, you guys may be thinking, wait, Tony, you've had about a week gap of where you haven't had the podcast, and you'd be quite right. That was actually uploaded on Chris's channel. So every now and then, Chris will be hosting the show up on his channel, so make sure you subscribe. Otherwise, you might miss some audio goodness, and you don't want to be missing that audio goodness.
Yeah, I was thinking, Tony, with the episode we recorded, the secret episode that's in storage, I was thinking of doing my own version of that just to get revenge on you asking those fucking questions.
Sounds like a good idea.
I like that.
The secret episode.
Fun episode. The secret episode we're not talking about or going to unveil for some time, just to wind up YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Narcissist.
All shall be revealed soon. Ooh, smoke and mirrors. We've got a bit of interesting news, guys. To go through before we go through some gaming experiences and the games that we'll be reviewing this week. Chris will be reviewing Borderlands 2, Tom will be reviewing Faster Than Light, and Haley will be having a look at Whispering Willows. Interesting name there. Here, some juicy news, and I'm almost afraid to bring up this name on this podcast, but I have to. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was released this week.
Yes, it was.
It also got glowing reviews. In fact, one of the harshest critics of the series, Total Biscuit, stated that it was the best of the series since Modern Warfare. Your thoughts?
I have actually heard similar reports as well. Everyone was expecting this to be a Titanfall ripoff, but while it does have Titanfall aspects, it does seem to stand alone, and it is pretty good. I have heard quite a lot of people say that the campaign is actually really good, and it is dramatic. It's not just... Well, it's not quite as cookie cutter as the last few Call of Duty games have been. It does have a good twist to it, and the mechanics are a lot better. So I might actually fork out some money for this one, or I might get it if it's on sale somewhere just to give it a test out.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know, I completely skipped Ghost because I just heard it was absolute shit.
Yeah.
So I completely skipped over it because it wasn't worth the money.
That's one of the good things about reviews, though. I very rarely buy. I think Destiny was the last game that I bought without looking at a review, and look at where that went to. So yeah. I'm going to be skipping Advanced Warfare. I've already washed my hands of the series. I know many people think, we shouldn't judge it just because it's got the Call of Duty on it. And yeah, I agree, but I'm done with the series. Doesn't matter how good of the game comes out. I'm looking at other pastures. But I'm definitely not going to say to anyone else, "Oh, you're getting Advanced Warfare, you fucking nerd." No, fair play if you're going to have a look at it. And as you say, when you've got people that have been criticising all the games, and suddenly they're saying, actually, this one's a bit different, then maybe it's worth a look. But
yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a couple of games like that have come out recently that everyone was sure was going to be absolute shit, and they've actually turned out to be really good. Case in point, Alien Isolation. After Colonial Marines, everyone was dreading a new release of an Alien game, and it's come out, and everyone absolutely fucking loves it.
Yeah, and games that everyone thought were going to be good turned out poo. So
yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah. Tom, we all know your thoughts on Call of Duty. Is this one going to turn your head anymore, or is it which side of the fence? Are you on the Chris or Tony side of the fence?
I'm more inclined to sit on the Tony fence because I did wash my hands of Call of Duty after Black Ops because it was just absolute, tripe.
And I have cakes on my side of the fence, so
I did see a beginning of the playthrough. It still looks just as ridiculous and as it was before. I mean, there's a guy about to fall out of dropship. You got to save him, or you failed level. And I'm just thinking, and as Nerdcube said, so this guy was integral to the war. Was he? This guy died. Everything fucked up. Why?
Yeah.
But there was the one scene where you see the swarm of drones just going around the plaza and you're shooting at them. I thought, oh my god, that's amazing. But this is horribly reminiscent of the Matrix.
Yeah.
So
it's still like, you know, it's a Call of Duty game. There's going to be big explosions and there's going to be all that sort of stuff. But like I said,
pointless moments of self-sacrifice where that guy sabotages that tank. He gets his arm trapped. He pushes you away, saying, "I regret nothing." She flies away, and you're like, "No, don't die, NPC man." And I was just sitting there thinking, I cannot muster any shits for this character. That's what I hated about Black Ops 2. If you can't expect me to care about someone I don't know anything about. Yeah. And if you're going to try and tug at my heartstrings with someone I don't know, I'm going to be like, dude, I don't care. Yeah. You've lost me now.
Yeah. I will say the only thing Black Ops 2 got right was, I think, the bad guy. I thought Menendez was a really good bad guy. He was just kind of wasted, really.
He was more relatable than the heroes you played as.
I was about to say.
Yeah. I mean, his little bit where, like, kind of, you know...
Like, bastards, and suddenly he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm more inclined to side with this guy, if I'm honest. Yeah, there's a level where he's going around hacking people with a machete, but... Yeah, I've seen the good guys do really questionable ethic things too. So
I mean, but that bit in Black Ops 2 where, like, kind of, you know, he goes like you know, you have your like psycho rage bit, almost a Trevor-esque moment.
Yeah.
And you go mental and go to save your sister. I was more involved in that mission than any of the others.
Sister.
I was like, I'm gonna go fucking save this bitch. Let's go, fucking do it, Menendez. Let's wreck some shit.
All aboard the murder train.
Menendez murder train. I love it. Yeah. So Advanced Warfare has been released and good reviews. And if you do get it somewhere down the line, you're gonna have to review it on this show.
I will do. Yeah. If I do get it, I will review it, and I'll do all the modes, because I actually had a lot of fun with the Modern Warfare 3 survival mode. So me and Hooper used to play that quite a lot, and it was so much fun. So I've actually watched some YouTubers like Smosh Games. It's a channel I watch quite regularly because they're all really fucking funny. It's basically what what our channel kind of aspires to a little bit, what the Kitten Clan aspires to. It's a bunch of friends playing games and doing reviews and doing different types of game scenarios, and it's really fun to watch. I do like Smosh Games, but they recently played. They tested out some of the some of the Advanced Warfare survival mode, because they said that, you know, everyone and their mother is going to be doing the campaign mode, so we're going to do the survival mode. And yeah, it looks really, really fun, all with like the futuristic gear and everything like that. I think that's what kind of pulls me out of the Call of Duty franchise a little bit, is that they're starting to lean too heavily on future tech too much, whereas Battlefield is still like, no, we are Modern Warfare. We might get a tad ridiculous
as well.
Yeah.
Just reviews, just for the weapons, they sound really, really stupid, don't they? It does sound like someone's clipped a card to something and just a bunch of cards and flipping them very quickly.
Yeah.
Of course it is. They have to
bugged me about the weapons. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you just reminded me of that point, and I just have to share that.
Yeah, I think they have to keep it fresh. I think that's why it's hard to make a sci-fi game, because it's difficult to make a weapon that hasn't already been done before. So, like, you know, if you make a game that has something similar to, say, I don't know, the Lancer from Gears of War, everyone's going to compare that weapon to the Lancer, and they won't call it the name you call it in your game. They'll call it the Lancer.
Yeah.
This is the problem with creating anything new. Nothing is new anymore. Everything is inspired by something else.
Yeah. So if you don't make an original enough turn on that, then you are going to get. But that's part of everyone has that issue, don't they? So you know, that's the right to that. So I am interested to see where Advanced Warfare goes from here. And obviously, it's Sledgehammer Games' first Call of Duty, so you expect them to come in, and it was their first Call of Duty game in recent history to have 3 years instead of 2 years development time. So maybe that's the key. You know.
Yeah.
That goes around this. Talking of committing lots of homicide.
Yeah.
Someone a small 2-man indie company performed career suicide this week, and their names are Digital Homicide. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It was a recent story.
No.
I can't say I've heard of it, no.
Okay. Go on. Right, so you remember back in the day where, if you remember day one, Gary's incident got a a copyright claim put on Total Biscuit's video, right?
Oh, yes.
And everyone knew back then that was the most stupidest thing you can do. Even if you had a legit claim, doing that makes you seem really petty and makes you seem extremely negative.
Yeah, it was beyond ridiculous.
Right. You haven't seen ridiculous yet. The makers of Digital Homicide, after reviewer Jim Sterling, I guess you guys know who Jim Sterling is.
Oh!
Yeah. He posted up a video slamming the game, and the developers of the game made a video, essentially putting like a text over his video, saying, "Oh, I'm Jim Sterling. I'm a fucking idiot. I reviewed this game and didn't know anything about it," and basically going on, basically attacking the guy.
That's not quite right. It's Jim fucking Sterling, son.
Yeah, that's what they were going along the lines. So obviously they felt really hard done by. They have put a claim on his video. They're taking him to court. So that's going on now. But the problem is
taking him to court.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
So I call this career suicide because not only you go on their Steam page right now, I tell you guys, go onto Steam and search for their game Slaughtering Grounds. The only slaughtering that's happening is by the fans of the people. The people who bought this game and are reviewing it. Someone said it was akin to a botched abortion.
Ooh.
So yeah. Right. So.
Oh, I see this. Gaming equivalent to a failed abortion.
Yeah. There you go. Total Biscuit, funny enough, you know, I did say that, who had the same thing happen to him. I think he put it best. I watched his video about it today. He stated that Jim Sterling works for Polaris. Polaris is owned by Disney, so Digital Homicide prepared to get swallowed by lawyers. Mickey Mouse ain't got time for your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I firmly agree. I think they destroyed any chance. Yeah, they could make a really bad game now, and you know
they hath awoken a sleeping giant.
Yeah, like to do this, just like right, you can put out a bad game, and that game gets slated. It's not 9 times out of 10, and you know sometimes this is wrong. The developer still comes away largely unscathed. They could release another game, and people won't be like, "Oh, this is the same." But normal people who buy games don't put 2 and 2 together, right? They have now made themselves stand out for exactly all the wrong reasons. They have committed career suicide. No one is ever going to want to hear of Digital Homicide ever again.
No, and any game they do, basically, because it's going to get instantly blacklisted. No one's going to buy it.
It is a real shame, and like I said, you know, they apparently they're firmly said they have a legitimate claim against Sterling for damaging them, and they are most likely going to lose their case, and they've lost any sort of momentum in terms of making another game. I just think if this other reviewer's got like Disney lawyers on his side, the developers are royally fucked. They're going to destroy him. Yeah. Exactly. My daughter loves Mickey Mouse, and he takes no prisoners.
Seppuku instead.
There's an organisation for lawyers, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
They will end up being little trophies in his clubhouse, Mickey Mouse, and he will enjoy looking at them. Don't fuck with me, huh? Yeah. New Hearthstone.
Take all of your worldly goods.
A new Hearthstone expansion was announced. I play this, and so does fellow Kitten podcaster Morgan. Red Wing Eagle, as he's otherwise known. Called Goblins and Gnomes. They're releasing a absolute bunch of new cards, which, by the look of it, will pretty much destroy all of the really annoying decks that are in the game, and will change the entire game up, which I love. I think that's fantastic. Anything that comes in destroys all of the current mainstays, decks and stuff like that, I'm well for, because that way, new decks will come up and it'll be more interesting to play. So.
I imagine that's more useful for like beginner players as well, especially if you go up against someone who's got a completely OP deck and you're new to the game, they'll just annihilate you. So bringing that in kind of balances everyone back out again, so that's quite good.
Yeah, I mean, so, I've been playing the game for a while. I've got quite a few legendaries, so I would state myself a lot more powerful than a new player. But a new player coming in who would actually purchase these expansions, because you can buy them. And I think it's great value for a game that is free, and Hearthstone is one of the best card games out there. It is more simple than other card games, but I think its simplicity makes it more accessible. And I've been playing Hearthstone for ages. And that even goes against me. We did an entire Guild Wars 2 episode. I'm a Guild Wars 2 nut. Hearthstone is called Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft. It's a Warcraft game, and I still play it. So, it had to be good.
Something.
Oh, do you guys? Here's the fun little bit of news this week. Do you guys own on Steam Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
I do not.
I do.
Ooh.
Reason I bought it is because there's a few multiplayer servers that people have made, like multiplayer roleplay servers, and I used to be part of that for a while.
I remember you mentioned that before, yeah.
Yeah, but quite fun. I haven't done it in a long time. I moved on to other stuff from there, but it was fun while it lasted. The reason I bring this up is because, as we know, San Andreas was re-released on Xbox for the 10-year anniversary, and they've updated the Steam client, which you think, okay, fair enough. Problem is, they've actually taken a bunch of stuff out and actually ruined some of the mechanics of the game on the PC version.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Oh, dear.
They've also lost some of the license agreements for the music, and as they're technically re-releasing the game, they have to take it out.
Yeah.
And like I said, some of the previous mechanics that worked no longer work. And also, weirdly, they changed some of the defaults of the game. So the first time that you drive a car is just absolutely bonkers. Like, it's all over the place, and you have to go and change everything and along those lines, which seems weird. I don't understand why they would have done that when it worked beforehand. Like, it makes no... Like, I understand the music, right? Because obviously they don't want to pay out too much money. There isn't that much profit, I guess, to be made from re-releasing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Nah.
But like changing the defaults of the settings, like that seems really odd to me. I don't know why they would have gone around that. And I'm not entirely sure. I haven't booted it up and had a look. I've only seen some of the details. But I think they've made it so it's a lot more like the iPad version, and in which case it's superiorly inferior to what we had beforehand.
Oh yeah.
So. Although people that are playing multiplayer, people that are playing multiplayer, they work on on a San Andreas that's on a previous version. Yeah. So they'll be fine anyway. It won't make an issue for them. But anyone that's downloading it now, you're going to get a worse off game than it was a week ago. So.
Oh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah. And go on.
You're speaking of like wonky default controls from console games that are now PC games.
Yeah.
Some of you have probably noticed that I've been playing Bully a lot recently.
Yes.
Bully the Scholarship Edition, a game I haven't played in fucking years, and it was originally...
Adam.
Yeah. It was originally on the PS2, and the controls for that, when you boot them up on the PC, are weird as fuck. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
They're all over the fucking keyboard. I was like, I'm going to have to remap this shit. This is weird. It's like the run key is like Alt, like the target key is Shift, which is okay, but the use button is R, when the use button is usually E in every other single game on the PC. Yeah. So I'm hitting E trying to do something. It's like, no, it's a fucking R button, isn't it? And then there's buttons all over the fucking shop. The map, like when you're trying to select weapons, that's sensitive as fuck. So you so much as tap your mouse with it, selects to something you don't even want. It's like, what the fuck is all this shit? I just remap.
That's unfortunately something we have to deal with, like with PC players. I hate buying a game that's ported from a console, and then you're spending the first 10-15 minutes, going through all the settings of the game. Yeah. I really like it when a game has like a way that it searches your computer, finds out what the best thing is, and automatically does that. Makes things so much easier, right? And then later on you can do it once you've played a bit of the game. At least it's playable. And two, it actually has like decent settings, as you say there, Chris, to play said game. Later on you might be able to change a few keys because they bother you, but as you said there, like they've made it now in San Andreas that you've got to go through and change a lot to make it even remotely okay, and that's just really...
But that's just weird.
Yeah. When I first got all the Saints Row in that deal off of Steam, I gave up and just connected up my 360 controller.
Yeah. I came across the same problem. It's a bit tricky to do that game with the mouse and the keyboard because it's run off so many fucking buttons.
Yeah. I managed it all right. I will say that.
The driving just...
the driving is shocking. You I've got a rule of thumb. I never play a driving game on the PC unless I have a controller because it's impossible to do it with the keyboard. Because you can't half press the key. You can't you can't fine tune driving. You can't fine tune braking or accelerating. It's like I used to play a lot of Need for Speed games. I haven't played any recently, except The Run, which I don't really count as a Need for Speed game. That's more of a grid game, because The Run isn't a Need for Speed game. I don't care what anyone says, it's not. Not like Carbon or all the others we had, or Most Wanted.
Underground 2. What Underground 2.
Underground 2.
Best
oh my shit.
Ever.
That was the best racing game ever. The Run is nothing like that whatsoever, and it's really weird when you go into it from playing all the Need for Speeds like I have, going into the Run, and it's a completely different mechanic. You're like, what the fuck? It's just like an endless race. It's fun to a degree. I'm not saying it's a bad game.
It's NASCAR.
But it just kind of throws you off a little bit from playing all the other Need for Speeds. I'd say it's more along the lines of like a normal racing game rather than a Need for Speed game, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like it's like you basically got to go from one side of the US to the other, so it's a series of races. You can change your cars in between, but you have to put into gas stations to change your car, and the gas stations aren't marked on the road move at all. You've got to keep an eye out for one as you're driving around.
So basically, it's Tour de America.
Pretty much, yeah. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and some of the bits...
It's a road trip. It's just a basically glorified road trip.
Yeah, but some of the bits on foot are actually really good, though. They are QTE events, and usually I have a problem, and lots of other people have problems with QTE events, but I don't actually mind them in this one. In this one, they actually serve a purpose, and they are fun. Because you've got to, like, run from the cops, and you've got to, like, dodge people, and there's a bit where you're, like, running down the street, jumping over cop cars, dodging helicopters, trying to, like, battering cops away who try to tackle you. It's pretty fun.
Sorry, you say walking in a Need for Speed game?
No, you don't walk. There's a series of points where, you get out of the car for a rest stop, and then, like, the cops show up, so you can't get back to your car because they've just pulled up next to your fucking car. So you've got to, like, smash away out the back of the restaurant, jump over a few fences, run down a few alleyways, find another car from another street racer, steal their car, and leave them to get arrested.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I thought maybe, it would be okay if you had on-foot sections in a Need for Speed game if you're playing as Usain Bolt.
Absolutely.
Or you get the superpowers from Saints Row 4.
Yeah, something along those lines.
That's the unacceptable thing I would say about running in.
I always felt really sorry for the poor motherfucker that had to program and design and make all the game mechanics and game physics for the cars in Saints Row 4. Because apart from where the story missions say you have to use a car, no one uses a car. It's just super sprint everywhere.
I can fly.
That's actually part of the reason why I get on with the keyboard so much in Saints Row 4. I don't have to drive. I just fly.
Yeah. I'm motherfucking Superman, kind of. I can't really fly. I can just glide very far.
I can run faster than Usain Bolt. I don't need to drive ever again.
No, what is it? Accident, injury, insurance claim, insurance
fraud. Oh, that's fun as hell.
When you just leap from a building.
Not even that. It's just you effectively sprint, leap 50 stories into the air, then starts doing cartwheels over and over and just bumping into every car you see. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
Was it my highest ever score on a single bounce was over 1 million?
Yeah.
I was bouncing and cartwheeling for days. I was like, wow, I've beaten this thing in like one bounce. This is insane.
Flips for days.
Yeah.
I haven't actually completed Saints Row 4. I will want to go back and complete that game.
Yeah, it is fun. I've already completed it on the Xbox, and I got it for the PC as well with all the DLC packs. You guys saw the pictures I posted. It is fucking mental. That's what I love about Saints Row, especially Saints Row 3 and 4, because by the time 3 and 4 came around, they knew for a fact that they weren't going to be the next GTA. They weren't going to compete with GTA at that level. So they're like, fuck it, we're just going to have fun with this. We're just going to make GTA on steroids and crack and all the other drugs that exist.
And throw in some sprinklings of shrooms just to be on the safe side.
Yes.
I was playing it with Will watching God Rest His Soul.
Yeah.
See what there. No, he was just glancing over and just like, what even? No, I can't get into this, otherwise I'll just be so angry. And every once in a while something would happen and he'd be like, what is this even? Why? No, I can't. And it would just, his voice would get higher and higher every time he would say, what?
But you can't ask why with Saints Row or Saints Row 4 because it's just there. You can't start questioning it. It's just have fun with it. It's like, one of the DLCs I do for like Saints Row 4, one of the pictures I posted, they've got the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones constructed of dildos.
Penetrators.
Just what?
You're just sitting there and you're just like, I see, I like it.
It's like, the character sitting on it was talking at me and I'm like, I'm not listening to what you're saying. I'm just completely dumbfounded by what you're saying.
Is that
What-
comfortable to
what
sit
we
on?
gonna do?
No, not really. Because it's still enjoyable. Yeah.
It's I wonder what happens if he shifts the wrong way. Do they all start vibrating?
Oh,
Oh.
hello.
Just, just trying to sit there looking all menacing and badass as he goes slowly rotating on the spot.
Oh, that
Oh.
last level though for that same bit of DLC, that was just nothing prepared me for that.
Yeah, that was just like, what?
Is this happening? Is this really happening?
It's like
So let me
Velociraptor.
sing you the songs of my people.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil it, but I was laughing so hard at that.
Yeah, it's just like, brain cannot comprehend this much awesome. I like the fact that they kind of like cut it in because, like, you know, the way they work it into the game is like, you know, they're getting interviewed and they're saying, oh, it was a scene we cut out, so half of it is done as like a movie storyboard. Some of the cutscenes are done as like a movie storyboard, and it's actually really well implemented into the game. I was quite impressed with that.
It's quite funny about the movie storyboards is that like you say, oh, they added them in because they didn't have like, you know, they didn't finish the rest of the story. It's like in Soul Calibur 4, those movie storyboards are the only part of the story. It's like, oh, they really fucked up that story. I'm not going to go back and say I already reviewed that, but
Yeah.
all right. So we've got a few gaming experiences this week to go to. Then we've got our games, some interesting ones there to go for. As I think our main gaming experience that we had this week, guys, was the Left 4 Dead 2 night that we had last night.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Yeah, that was good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said there before, Chris will be uploading the videos of that. So
5 episodes of Left 4 Dead goodness.
goodness, yeah, of versus goodness. We were trolling each other.
Do you remember the practice when we started out? That guy, Dodger.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Fucking hell, Dodger, man. Oh, we all came to despise that dude. Even the people who were on his
I take
team.
it very personally first time round though, because he always seemed to manage to take me out so quickly, and it was just infuriating me so
You were
much.
raging out hardcore for like a good 10 minutes, and the rest of us are just like, well, maybe he's just like really, really good, but he did seem like really god-moded to an insane degree.
There must have been something going on there, right?
Yeah.
Because
Just
when
the way
we
he was standing
left,
outside, like 3 of you went at him, and then suddenly he whipped around, all 3 of you were dead.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
can
you
you do
can't
that?
kill a charger in one hit. Even if you have a shotgun, you cannot kill a charger with one hit when it's right in front of you.
or even if you
can't do
could,
it.
you can't do that
See,
when you've
I
got
called
2
it.
other
None of
guys
you
next
guys
to
believe
him.
me, but I called it.
Yeah, that's it.
Taking out a witch in one shot, then suddenly taking everyone in one shot. Charge it with
it's like-
one swing of his axe. Who the fuck is he? Gimli? I don't bloody think so.
Yeah, it was like yeah, it was a little bit weird. I think that's why like we ended up just doing like a versus between the lot of us and not doing like an open one.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just you need to get. Just imagine 8 of us playing at once.
We'll get it one day. We'll get it one
One
day.
day.
The other gaming experience that I've had, you guys will probably already know from the channel. I've been uploading it. Is that I'm doing a Broken Sword Let's Play.
I have
Oh,
noticed.
watching
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I said that when we did this secret episode, something happened where Broken Sword was referenced. I was genuinely shocked you guys didn't hear about it, and I was like, well, you know, what better time to go back and play
Well,
the game.
I'd heard about it, but it didn't look like the kind of game that I really enjoyed playing, because I've played games of that vein before and I haven't really been that into it. And I'm not very good at puzzle games as it is. I'm okay with puzzles in games, but it has to be broken up by action and stuff like that and other things to do, because I'm really shit at puzzle games. And I'll just sit there infuriated going, fuck it, the puzzle for ages.
Well, the big like I said, I understand exactly where you're coming from, and that's kind of the reason why I was like, let's do a let's play, because I do very well with those games. I've played and completed Broken Sword before, and I thought it's one of those games that has such an intriguing story that people wouldn't mind sitting down and watching it. And you know, my thoughts on that. It's actually really interesting to be doing gameplay videos because I haven't done any in so long. So, what about you guys? Gaming experiences?
Oh, we were playing 7 Days to Die last week, and we had a wonderfully interesting experience happen.
I had a really cool glitch happen where I was able to fly.
What?
Nice.
Yes, I flew. Every time I pressed space, I went up. Every time I pressed crouch, I went down. So the zombies couldn't get me. But
That didn't happen to me, so I was just following you around, looking up, just going, "How? Why? What are you doing up there?" And
I
she's
said,
like,
I'll go scout ahead.
How is this happening?
frantically going around, going, "I'm a butterfly." Like, what? Why don't you come down and help me? Butterflies are not concerned with the lesser affairs of ground-dwelling people. I'm going to go find a flower. Because that's insane.
Uh,
Something along those lines. Maybe not exactly like that, but all I heard in the back of my head was just her going, butterfly.
Haley had
It's
descended.
like giant hornets. You actually get giant hornets in 7 Days to Die. But she was up there fighting for the skies, and I was down there just slogging around with my axe. Just,
Trying to survive.
Although we did manage to restart it and get ourselves a lovely little house that we're currently...
Yeah, because where I was flying, the space just seemed unlimited, and I couldn't find any decent building other than what was in the city. And you don't want to settle down in a city because it's full of infected.
Yeah.
And it was just depressing in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing but infected dogs, giant hornets, and just fat guys throwing up.
And then there was nothing but
It's
trees.
exactly like Glasgow.
This sounds like a party. Yeah.
See, I'm really disappointed with 7 Days to Die. I forked out 20 quid nigh on 20 quid for that game. Cannot get it to fucking work.
Really?
Not
I've
in
got the
any
same
way,
thing
shape, or
for
form.
shells, so-
I can boot it up to the main menu. As soon as I try to start playing a game, breaks my whole computer.
Oh, wow.
Just does nothing. I tried playing it the other day. I had to restart it 3 times. Nothing. And that's actually hitting the reset button on the tower unit. I couldn't even get back to I couldn't even get back to the Windows menu. It was ridiculous. It just broke my whole computer.
That's exactly what happens to you in Stalker, though, so...
Yeah, see, that's really weird. I don't know whether it's because it's a digital copy, but I've got a hard disk copy. It's never given me any problems, and I've put that on like 4 different machines. I've never had a problem with it.
I had loads of problems with 7 Days to Die when I was trying it on, when I was using my brother's Mac Pro. MacBook Pro, it just wouldn't work at all. So I had to give up.
Yeah.
It would work, but then it would lag so hard. In certain settings, you couldn't have it. I think you had to have it windowed. And it lagged so hard that by the time you turned around to face the zombie, you were dead.
One frame per second kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which isn't which is even worth playing when it's that bad.
It's that.
Yeah.
Just like throw down the controller or throw the mouse down and just go, fuck this shit, I'm out.
You know what? I've got better games to play.
Fuck yeah, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Okay, seems like a good time as any to begin our gaming reviews.
Hey, my gaming moment.
Oh, sorry, yeah, go on. Yeah,
I have one.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to bring this up in the podcast that we did without you, Tony, but as it was a Halloween one, we did like a Halloween themed one instead.
I listened to it. Yeah,
I was playing GTA Online and I pulled off possibly the sickest jet trick in all of GTA history.
Oh,
because usually I play on like a private server on my own because I don't want to be dealing with dickheads and I just want to like level up my character and get cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I popped onto an online server and everyone was kind of being okay. And then one guy just randomly killed me completely out of nowhere. I was literally just walking past him on the way into like a store and he shotgunned me in the face. I actually lost my shit. I don't know why it fucked me off so much, but I lost my shit. I went straight to the airport. I stole a copter, went into the military base, stole a jet, got clean away inside of like 30 seconds. I was in and out of that base so fast that, not one army person actually managed to get anywhere near me.
the Rage Ninja.
I have perfected the art of stealing a jet. Why people jump into it out of a plane, don't bother. It takes way too much time. The military have way too much time to respond to you. Get a helicopter, fly up, right up so you're just above the fence. So you're hovering so that you can just about get over the fence. Quickly go across the edge that's nearest to the city, so like the southern edge of the base. Just go straight across the fence, land it, jump out, jump in the nearest jet, you're away.
Yeah, that's what I always used to do.
Yeah,
jets.
It's the perfect way to do it. And I just flew around the city, dominating the airspace around the city for a good 20 minutes. Nothing lifted off the ground that I did not destroy. And I noticed
Did you find the guy?
I did. I destroyed him, but I decided to keep going. And this is what led to the most epic jet maneuver ever. I noticed 3 guys were like going into the airport with another guy following them. And they were shooting it out. There were fuck tons of cops following them. I was like, wow, there's a real battle going on down there. So I kept making low passes over them just to see what was happening. And I noticed 2 of them were like running towards like a really expensive jet that had spawned in the hangar. I was like, they ain't fucking lifting off. This is my airspace. So completely fucking with them, I flew towards like really, really low to the ground towards the hangar. It's that hangar that's like just to the left of where you enter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Make that jump. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that
just
one.
Yeah. I flew really low to the ground towards it, pulled up just in time to miss it, flipped the jet up, did like one of those like inverted loop bits, which like flips you the right way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ducked down again, flew over the top again as they're desperately trying to fire this fucker up. Got to about where you start to encounter jumbo jets after you go over the top of it. So just after where the helicopters spawn, you get jumbo jets on like the concourse bit. Got to where that is, still quite low to the ground, about like just a bit taller than where the buildings end up. Flipped up again, done another inverted loop, came screaming towards them, fired a single missile into the hangar, and I pulled up just in time to see this missile just impact the cockpit and just blow the fucker up. They must have seen me coming. They're like, no, get up. No.
Scorched sky.
You almost want to know what if they had mics on. They're just like, no.
Yeah. And then I eventually got. Oh no, I didn't get shot down. I died because I got a little bit too cocky trying to take someone out, and I completely misjudged how much room I had going under an underpass. I almost made it. My wing literally just skimmed the outside edge, and it just went nuts, and I exploded. I killed the guy I was after though, because I was literally about 3 feet above him. I still got him. And then everyone that hated me and started hunting me, so I had to leave. So I couldn't go anywhere. They were just all after me. It's just like wherever I spawned, just like all the white dots on the map started to congregate towards me. It's like, that's actually really fucking scary. I'm going to go now.
Well, you're a tourist. Go around shooting up planes in a tourist. Yeah. Well, that sounds cool. That sounds like something that in a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, it was very Michael Bay.
I went through the danger zone. Sorry.
Danger zone.
Okay, Chris.
Had to. I'm sorry.
Tell us then. This is our first of the game overviews. That's what I'm going to call it now. Not really reviews, they're overviews. We're talking about the games, aren't we? Tell us about Borderlands 2. It's a game that as a group, we know pretty well. And I think it's quite apt considering the recent one, the pre-sequel came out a little while back. But it didn't really dethrone Borderlands 2 from being the top one on, top Borderlands game. So yeah, tell us about Borderlands 2.
Alright, Borderlands 2 is a game that I actually got brought for me a while ago. I didn't actually go out and buy it for myself because I didn't think I would like the style it's done in because of its artistic style and the way that it almost looks hand drawn and very comic bookish.
Cell shaded, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's cell shaded. I haven't really got on with games like that before, especially like shooting games or like first person games. But my girlfriend at the time went out and bought it for me. I went, oh cool, but I usually don't like games of this caliber, but I'll smash it on and I'll give it a go because she bought it for me. I was hooked in like the first 10 seconds. Just the intro music hooked me. I was like, yes, this. And yeah, I just got hooked in it. And it was developed by, Gearbox Software in collusion with a couple of others for the PC and the PlayStation version, for like the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
And it was published by 2K Games. And it's actually one of like the better games I've ever played, and of course, because it's one of my best games, it was of course done on the Unreal Engine 3. Because there's nothing bad that's come out of the Unreal Engine, because it's just fucking awesome. It's a sequel to the first Borderlands game, which was also a really successful game. Actually, I found out because I went and played that one as well, and that was really fun. Although I think Borderlands 2 is a little bit better because they got rid of some of like the little issues and problems that they had in Borderlands, like with the mechanics and the leveling up system and all of that lot. They listened to their fan base. They came out with Borderlands 2, and everyone loves the absolute shit out of it. It's hard to know where to start with Borderlands 2 really, because there's just so fucking much in it. It like it's not quite on the level of games like Skyrim and Oblivion. It's not on that level, but I'd say it's at least comparable in size to something like, I'd say GTA San Andreas. There's a lot in it, and the map is almost entirely open. Like, you can only access certain areas of the map at certain times. So, like, boss level stuff, and you have to unlock the map as you go. But once you've unlocked an area of the map, go nuts, do whatever the fuck you like in it.
Yeah.
And the leveling up mechanic is one of the best I've ever encountered. Again, comparing it to Skyrim. Skyrim has possibly, in like a first-person RPG game, it has possibly the best leveling up system I've encountered. It's easy to use, it's easy to understand. You don't have to do a certain thing. You can do whatever the fuck you like in it. And in Borderlands 2, you can do pretty much the same thing. There's lots of customization level-wise. Character customization, there isn't a lot.
Still more than Borderlands 1, though, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, there's still more than Borderlands 1. But like the most you can do character customization-wise is really is like different skins. So you can get like different heads, like different hairstyles and stuff like that. You can get like different outfits. But the outfit doesn't really change. It's more like the color and the style of the outfit.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with. I would prefer like different outfits that look different, that aren't like a different color. I'm not saying that detracts from the game at all, but I would have preferred that, because I grew up on like RPG things on like Oblivion level. So you can just so much to do. But it's a good game actually, and for a cel shaded game, like a game genre and a game style that I've never really liked before, I had a shit ton of fun with it, and I loved the absolute fuck out of it. Like, you've got a choice in the game when you start out the campaign of choosing between 4 different classes. Sorry. The gunslinger. Gunzerker. Sorry, not gunslinger.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm on about this. Isn't the Old West. The Gunzerker, Siren, the Commando, and the Assassin. Each of them has their own like their own little backstory, which you can find out throughout the campaign. It doesn't get like drip fed to you or anything like that. There's like these little pads called echoes scattered throughout the world, and all of them have backstory on all of the characters. So it doesn't matter which one you're playing, you'll be able to find the backstory of the others while you're out adventuring anyway. And these are things to look for, because some of the backstory bits are actually really interesting.
Yeah,
Especially the Gunzerker ones are hilarious, actually.
Yeah, I like that, because when you start up the game, like, it doesn't matter what class you are, you get given one of those echo things at the very beginning, so it gives you like a base of like the backstory. So like, I think like the Siren only came in because she heard of the Siren that's in Borderlands 1. The Commando, like basically he got divorced, so like that's the reason why he's there.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they've got some of them are like really like serious reasons why they're there, and some of them are a little bit more tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But that's just akin to the way that the game is done, though, isn't it?
And each of the classes is actually really well done, I found. I mean, I've played the Commando, the Gunzerker, and the Siren, and while I don't really get on with the Siren class because it's not really my style of play, it's still really well rounded, and there's a shit ton of customization options, because every class will have like three tiers of skills, and you'll get three trees for these skills, and each of them will have like different skills you can level up. Every time you level up, you earn a point to spend in these menus, and each of them will have some of them will be buffs to weapons, some of them will be buffs to your health, some will be buffs to shields, some will make your abilities last longer, some of them will make will tweak your abilities so they can do different things. Like, if you build a Gunzerker correctly, you can use your special ability as long as there's enemies around you, so almost indefinitely, which is absolutely insane. And I actually built my Gunzerker like that. I could just walk into like a bandit camp and just go, death everywhere.
I played the Siren like a lot, because I played Siren in 1 and 2. Yeah. And like the one that, like as you said, it would change. Like the Siren in number 2, like you got a phase lock, so you could basically throw them up, and it incapacitates the enemy for a short time. But like as you level them up, you can level them up into like support or damage and stuff. But like I went to a support Siren, so when you do that, the amount of time that they're in the phase lock, it actually like releases health from its health and gives it to your players and stuff like that. Like there's loads of different things you can do. So that changes like the way that you play. Like if you go into it, it's almost a little bit MMO-y in that sense that like you can build your character to like be support DPS or like utility or anything like that, or just all three.
Tank. Yeah. And that's what I really liked about that aspect of the game is like, you know, because there's so much choice and there's so much you could do with it, you'll never play the game the same way twice. Even if you choose the same class, you'll probably level it up differently just to see what the other skills do. Because like some of the skills are actually really good, but obviously if you want to build your if you want to build your Gunzerker just to be like an all-out frontal tank, you'll obviously spend most of it in you'll spend most of your level up points in one particular tree with maybe a couple from the others.
Yeah.
But if you play it through again, you'll be like, okay, well, I can change it up. I can now spend, you know, my points in this tree and maybe use a couple from the other two and like you know, see how that works. And you can do that for all those characters. So it's got almost endless replay value. And there's a couple of other bits that tie into the replay value, but there's also another kind of almost leveling up system, which is I've actually found to be something that carries across every character you play as long as you're playing from your profile, and that's the badass ranks.
Yeah.
The badass ranks is actually a really ingenious little system, because whenever you start a character, you'll get like little badass challenges to do, and there's a massive list of these things. Like, it's absolutely fucking ginormous. It's pretty much impossible to do, and it'll range from doing anything to finding like these little like telescope viewpoints to killing a certain number of a certain foe, or like lighting a certain amount, like certain number of this thing on fire, freezing another, like you know, slagging another few of these things.
Even just walking a certain distance. Like...
yeah, exactly. Even just like walking or buying weapons and like, you know, collecting health packs and stuff like that and dealing damage. Like, and every time you hit one of the markers for this thing, you'll get a badass rank. And you can accumulate, and you actually accumulate these badass ranks pretty fucking quickly. Like just playing the game, you'll accumulate this thing really quickly. You don't actually have to go out of your way to do it, which I think is quite well tied into the story, because like, you know, it seems to tie in with the story quite well. And with this badass ranks, you can choose buffs to certain skills. They're not large buffs by any means. They're only like, you know, 0.5% to, you know, your shield recharge rate, or like 0.5 to your health or something like that. So they're not massive like stat boosts at all. But because you can earn these things so quickly, you'll end up finding yourself having like a 25% bonus to your shield recharge rate before too long. And that carries over to all your characters. Even if you start a new character, you'll still have those buffs with the opportunity to earn all those challenges again and build up more badass points, so you can earn even more stat boosts, which is just incredible. It's ridiculous.
I find that the badass system is good because it makes making your second player, because you're basically replaying old content, right? And no matter how fresh the game makes it seem be, you're still replaying content you've already played. Yes. But the way that the badass system does is that it really makes it easier for you to just ram through that first like 2-3 hours. You know, because technically you are overpowered at that point, and then it gets a bit harder from there on out. But it makes it so much easier, because then you don't have to sit around fighting the same bosses that were hard when you first did it. You're basically going through and getting through to that point. So I like the way that they did that. Yeah.
It's a good little kick just to get you going, isn't it? Which is really well done. And also another thing that ties into the replay value is if you complete the game and you do all the extra bits and you tie it off and you complete all the extra side quests, you can start the whole game again in true Vault Hunter mode, which is insanely difficult. It's exactly the same as story. Nothing about the actual story changes, but all the enemies are like infused with steroids. So everything is now a badass rank as a character, as an enemy. And reaching your first badass level boss, fuck me. I had like a level 60 Gunzerker and I barely survived. I was like, holy Jesus, this thing is fucking immortal. And all the loot gets better as well. let's talk about the loot for a second in Borderlands 2.
Was it bazillions of guns they call it?
Yeah, literally. And they are not lying about that. They are not lying that there are quite literally bazillions of guns. It's very rare you will find the same gun twice. And even if you do, that'll be like a very, very basic weapon that you'll just sell or like pretty much ignore for the big, like, you know, shiny, like purple or green one hiding at the back.
Yeah.
Because it's so like it's all so good. All of them have their own particular stat boost. There's I think there's 3 or 4 different makers of weapons. So you have different makes of weapons which do different things. It's like I mostly use Toreador weapons, which when you expend a clip, you throw it and it explodes like a grenade, and you materialize another one with a full clip.
Yeah, do you remember that one?
Yeah, why would you use anything else? It's
Absolutely.
You know, it reminds me of a gun that was in Perfect Dark. That you basically when you shot it all, you could do its secondary function, and you throw it like a grenade. I thought that was the best thing in the world.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you're a gunzerker and you've got 2 of those things as shotguns, you're just fucking unstoppable. Just have a slag one and a fire one. And all the elements in this are really good as well, with the introduction of the slag element, which basically when you slag an enemy, it makes it even
you fire promiscuous women at it?
Well, kind of. I don't know whether it's a subtle jab, it being called a slag weapon, which makes them more vulnerable to being hurt.
Yeah.
It's I always thought is there some joke behind that I'm not quite getting?
I think maybe because that's a British word for for that. I think the majority of Americans wouldn't know what slag means over here. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, they won't get it. But yeah, it's that's actually a really useful little element, and it's just okay, I'll have a slag weapon in one hand, and then a fire weapon in the other hand. Everything's pretty much dead, or an acid weapon, everything's dead. And all the weapons in it are awesome.
All I can imagine when you say slag weapon are very high heels that are clear.
You need leather skirts, red boob tube. Just describe Jill Valentine's outfit.
Yes, again with Jill Valentine.
Why do I keep ripping on her? Because she dresses like a slut.
Secretly fancy her.
Slag.
But yeah, it's all good. All those aspects of the game are solid. The control mechanic for actually using the guns is solid. The button mapping for the controller.
The gunplay itself is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, the gunplay itself makes sense. Driving vehicles is fairly easy, although it is a little bit like Halo in that it takes a little bit of actually the vehicles control pretty much exactly like Halo. That's exactly what I would compare it to.
They can flip all over the place, can't they? If you don't
driving one of those little buggies you get is exactly like driving a warthog. You can do it, it just takes a little bit of finesse. It takes a bit of getting used to. But I can drive a warthog like a boat, so I had no problem with it. But the story as well is it's ridiculously awesome. That's how I'm going to put it. It's just it's ridiculous. You know that most of it makes no sense. You know that some of it is completely overblown and over the top and completely insane, but you don't care because it's well written, it's well acted, it's well voice acted, and everyone's cool.
Yeah.
All of the characters are cool. All of them are interesting. All of them make you laugh. And especially Handsome Jack. He's one of those bad guys that is a bad guy, but you think he'd be pretty cool to hang out with.
You can't help but like him a little bit.
Handsome Jack, he makes me think of Joffrey, but a cool Joffrey.
Yeah, it's like Joffrey if he was cool.
If he was aware that he was a dick.
Yeah, he's an Handsome Jack is a really solid bad guy. He's an absolute asshole, but he has such fun with being the bad guy. And the guy and you can tell the guy who was doing the voice acting was having fun doing the voice acting as well. And that always carries over. You can always tell when a voice actor is into their role. It's with say taking Peter Dinklage for instance as Dinklebot. You can tell that he's not really into what he's doing, and I don't know whether, and you know, I've heard, I think it was Angry Joe pointed this out as well, but I don't know whether because he wasn't like he's just not interested in the source material, or he wasn't given enough information about what he was doing or what he was saying. It just sounds like you know. Do you remember reading to the class when you were in school? That's kind of what he sounds like.
I know exactly what that's like.
Yeah, like that's kind of what he sounds like. He's just reading it for the sake of reading it.
He's reading Shakespeare.
Yeah, I don't want to put the guy down. I think he's
not to be.
Yeah, I'm not putting the guy down at all. I'm not hating on Peter Dinklage. The guy's a fucking awesome actor. Tyrion is one of the best characters in all of creation, and he's just friggin' awesome. But that wasn't one of his best performances. And like, you know, I understand that some actors can't do voice acting. I understand that, but with Handsome Jack, you can tell that the guy doing the voice acting is loving the absolute shit out of being Jack, especially during the Butt Stallion bit. Butt Stallion, come here, Butt Stallion, yay! Butt Stallion.
That sounds like it's Markiplier inspired. But no, do you know what else? What Handsome Jack reminds me of? He reminds me a little bit of Vaz in terms of voice acting.
A little bit, yeah, in the way that he's written
the
as well.
The same intensity, just running with it.
His character strikes a really fine line that he's funny as fuck, but at the same breath you're like, yeah, I'm also a little bit scared of what he could do. Like,
you don't want to be left alone with the guy.
Yeah. Like he's not. He cracks a lot of joke, but he isn't a joke. You know what I mean? I think that's the big difference.
He will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And that really comes to the fore, like kind of right at the end of the game. I think they've actually played that very well. They have him quite threatening, but very jokey at the same time throughout the entire game, except when you get to the end, and that's when he loses his shit, and it makes everything a little bit more intense, which I think is quite good. I really enjoyed kind of the last battle of that game, even though it is fucking ridiculous. I won't spoil it for anyone listening who hasn't played the game, but the last mission you do is just it's ridiculous, but it's so awesome you don't fucking care. It's and Jack's being really threatening. You've got a really sizable threat to deal with during that battle, and everything's all insane. Everything's all over the place. There's so much going on, and it's really fun. I found I had a lot of fun with that mission. When it was over, I was like, "It's over. Can I calm down a bit now?"
What do I do with this excess energy?
Yeah, it's I still want to gunzerk everything. Because, I really am a gunzerker at heart, and I played the gunzerker for when I first played through Borderlands 2, and it was just so much fun. Just dual wielding a couple of weapons, going batshit on everything. It was just fun as hell. I love playing it, and I've seen people play as Zero, the assassin, as well, just wiping motherfuckers out.
Yeah,
and it's impressive to watch someone who can use the other the other classes to their full degree. Because I can't. I'm really bad with the other classes. I tried for the commando. I didn't get too far. I'm not doing too well with the siren. I haven't even tried the assassin because I know I'm going to fail with him because I'm a shit stealther and I'm a shit assassin. But
I should go back and play Borderlands 1 to show you how good my siren was, because what was it? I got to level cap. That's the DLC level cap with the siren, and she was a DPS.
Nice.
So in that it was different because she could go into a phase. Yeah, go invisible, and then you could basically burst her out of invisible, and it would do a big AoE set of damage, and literally it would set everyone on fire, do a big explosive damage, just do everything. I was like, yes, amazing.
Yeah, and you've got shields in this one as well. You've got little character buffs which buff you to a certain degree, but these things are good because while they buff you to a certain degree, they also have a negative effect as well. So you have to kind of balance out with what you want your character to be. It's some of them will make your weapons more powerful, but your shield that little bit weaker. So you got to kind of balance it out, which also makes it slightly tactical. All the shields as well have different properties depending on what they do. Some of them will be really, really OP tank shields, which can take a fuck ton of damage, but will take a long time to recharge. Some of them won't have as much. And won't have as much damage on them, but won't take even half as long to recharge. They recharge really quickly. Some of them, when if you get hit with a melee attack, they'll like hurt the person who melee attacks you. Some of them, when they run low, they'll explode and do a big like area of effect fireball around you. Because I think that's part of the shield you get off the Firehawk when you complete that first big mission. You get this really boss shield.
I find there's always a trade-off, though, yeah? Like, there's always, there's a wide variety of shields, but there's always something that's wrong with them, which is good, because that way you can't just equip something and it's amazing. Like, yeah, you might have an explosive shield, but as you say, it doesn't recharge that quick. There's always a downside. I love that about games. There's always you always got to think, like, do I really want to switch this over because I'm losing this effect?
Yeah, there is no perfect shield in the game. It's always give and take, which is a really good addition. There's, you can't just equip these a certain weapon set, a certain shield, and that's it. You're immortal for the rest of the game. Every weapon and every shield has their advantages and their disadvantages depending on your playstyle, which allows you to have so much more free reign with the game. And it kind of draws you into it a little bit more as well, because you've got to put more thought into how you want your character to be. And I think that covers the game pretty well up until the point where the DLC was released. I just want to say the DLC for this game is how to do DLC.
Borderlands is the example of how you should do DLC.
This Call of Duty, Battlefield,
Destiny.
Every game that gives Destiny. This is how you fucking do DLC content. You don't overcharge for 3 shitty map packs and a couple of useless Hello Kitty weapon skins. You give us new campaigns. You give us a whole new, fleshed out, really fucking awesome class, which I have got and I have played because I love the absolute shit out of it. The Necromancer class, like a little wisecracking girl, like the mechanic version of Tiny Tina, who summons a big death bot to annihilate shit for her, who can be fucking immortal if you build him right. You can just summon him and just sit back and watch him wreck shit. It's just fucking epic. It was a really good addition. The new class is amazing. It was really well thought out. It's just as fleshed out as the other 4 classes. All the leveling system and the skill trees for that class are just as good as the other 4 ones as well. So it wasn't just something that was quickly thrown together, slapdash and thrown into the game to make money. It actually works, and it works the same as the other ones, and you can replay it as well.
And it wasn't, and you know what? The reason why I love the fact that Borderlands does it is that somewhere along the lines, when DLC became a thing, people thought it was okay to take stuff out of the game and make that DLC. Borderlands 2, all their DLC is stuff that was made after the initial game released, and it was a full package. I cannot praise Borderlands enough for what they do with that, because I hate it when games like Mass Effect ripped out an entire character out of that game and gave you day one DLC. It's like, what? No, like Borderlands 2, all the stuff that they made was stuff they made after the game launched. They were still making it when the game launched. I'm okay with them releasing that as paid DLC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when it adds that much.
And those 2 extra campaigns as well are worth the money. There's Tiny Tina's one, which is like a Dungeons and Dragons rip-off kind of thing, which is so much fucking fun. There's the big game hunt with Sir Hammerlock, which gives you more detail on his backstory, which is also really cool. There's I think there's another one as well. Actually, I think there's a pirate one.
They did a new one literally only a couple of months before the new game was released.
Yeah, so
which got rave reviews. It was everyone was it was amazing.
Yeah. So that's an example of how to do DLC right. It doesn't have to be expensive. I think the Borderlands franchise as a whole, including the new game, know their fans and know how to market their shit. Because some of the trailers I've seen for the pre-sequel have been absolutely fantastic, especially when they have poked fun at Destiny. When Destiny was saying, "Oh, we're going to be bigger than Borderlands. We're going to be bigger than Borderlands. Borderlands means nothing compared to us." So what the Borderlands released a piss take trailer for their game, basically turning around to Bungie and everyone else going, "Ha, we don't fucking care. You make your shit. We're going to be better."
Yeah. Oh man, you can tell Destiny took a lot of cards from Borderlands. Yeah. And the audacity that they actually said that this was going to be bigger than Borderlands. Borderlands 2 pisses all over fucking Destiny, just like outright in every single facet. Not just like, oh, Destiny does this better. Borderlands does everything better than Destiny. When it was released like years before Destiny, and it had like even a smidgen. They probably didn't even have like 100 million to make that game. You know?
Yeah.
Destiny had 500 million. I don't want to badmouth that game. We've already been there, but when you look at Borderlands 2 and you look at Destiny, you're like, what were they thinking?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Borderlands 2 is a really well done, fleshed out game. I've been playing it a lot. I've been playing it for years. Ever since I got it. I got it over 2 years ago. I'm still playing it to this day. I'll occasionally stick it in the machine and I'll pick up one of my characters and carry on with what I was doing. And I always have fun playing it. Like, there's always stuff to do. I always find bits that I've missed on a previous playthrough because there's shit scattered everywhere. Because not only do you get backstories on the 4 playable characters, there's backstories scattered around for like every character, like every named character you meet will have backstory somewhere.
Not to mention the tons of hidden game references in the game as well.
Oh yeah,
there are
loads.
Tons of them. The Minecraft one. Oh, that's so
that was brilliant. The double rainbow one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of Easter eggs. Like if you ever want an example of just how in depth this game is, go on YouTube and search like Borderlands 2 Easter eggs found.
Yeah.
Bam.
And there's like series made of them because you can fit so many episodes on it. There's loads of it.
So much in this game, literally masses of stuff, and like for the price it was. I mean, it wasn't that expensive when it was released. It was like about the price of an Xbox game at that time, so about like 35 quid, and it was well worth that money for just a sheer amount of content in it. And now all this DLC has been added to it, and
you get the Game of the Year edition now that gets all of that in it as well. It's just like, what?
Yeah,
that's such a good deal, man.
yeah. If you can pick up the the Game of the Year edition with everything in it, go get that shit. Go get that shit. Throw away your copy of Assassin's Creed 3. Throw away your copy of Destiny and play Borderlands.
Yeah. And it'll keep you there much engaged for very long.
Yeah. And I watched all the trailers for this as well, because after I started playing it, I was like, how the fuck did I miss this? How the fuck did I miss this epic game? And so I went back and went, I must have missed the trailers. What were the trailers like? All of the trailers are fucking epic. And that's a perfect example of how to market your game. I mean, I brought Assassin's Creed 3, in my opinion, one of the worst games I've ever played, and a game I will never defile an Xbox with again. and I bought that game based on the theatrical release trailer. Like that big one where he's like the lie trailer, as I call it.
Yeah.
The lie trailer. Because you jump out of the American revolutionaries, you come striding out, you run across a battlefield, ducking behind rocks to dodge musket fire, wipe out a shit ton of redcoats and do that epic slow-mo bit on the guy who turns out to be a Templar sitting on the horse. None of that shit in the game. You just sit there on a horse and go, fire at those guys. Okay, fire again.
Oh, thrilling.
I'll fire at those other guys.
You guys fire over there now. Just fucking boring.
Just wake me up when you're finished, yeah.
Yeah. That was the most boring bit of that game. It's just like, can I not get off the horse and just go and kill them all? I'm a fucking assassin. I should be able to get off my horse and go wipe these fuckers out.
Enjoy your victory, Washington. It will be the last one I deliver onto you.
Washington should have fucking drop kicked him in that.
It would have been worth the price of admission if just Washington just gave him I gave him a wrestling style power bomb just right there, just laid him out,
Or just when he walks away, you hear Shoryuken from behind him.
Or Kamehameha, just.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even tolerate that. I'd just be happy to see a flintlock pistol come up and blam, and just there you
the
go.
End. Yeah, that's it.
Just now.
Yeah.
And
credits roll. Really awesome if Washington had just gone, you have served your purpose, assassin. Bang! Awesome.
Twist ending.
And you played the rest of the game as George fucking Washington. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's Assassin's Creed 3 fixed right there.
Yeah, there we go. Well, they did do that DLC where Washington keeps the apple of Eden from himself.
But that was alternate history.
The king of America. It's really?
It was King Washington anyway.
It's kind of like King
who builds a pyramid.
Isn't that kind of
what?
King?
Yeah.
He built some kind of pyramid in New York or something.
Oh, yeah.
And becomes King Washington.
Yeah, he becomes King Washington. It's like really, really,
People
really
actually
Ubisoft.
American. No, they're French, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're French-Canadian, I think.
It was just really fucking funny. I laughed my ass off. It was like, I'm not playing that shit. You could fuck off.
So superpower as well to make you as fast as the wolf and strong as the bear or some nonsense like that. Like a 90s cartoon.
Okay, Chris, give us a wrap-up of Borderlands 2, and do you recommend it? I guess we know the answer, but I still have to ask it.
Well, wrap up of Borderlands 2. It's a solidly built game. It's lots of fun. It's got a shit ton of replayability. It's fun if you just leave it for ages, pick it up again and stick it in your machine. You'll still have fun with it years later. I give it a big-ass pour of approval, and I recommend that any of you who could, even if you spot it in like a sale bin in a shop, pick it up and buy it, because you'll have fun with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just ask one question before we move on?
Go on.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, Claptrap or the Dinklage bot?
Oh, Claptrap.
Claptrap?
Oh, outright.
No question, fucking Claptrap. Claptrap is the boss, and that's why I'm so happy in the pre-sequel you get to play as a Claptrap unit. Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear my dubstep song? Wop, 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 wop. Shut up, Claptrap.
You know what, though? I saw, just before we move on to Tom's review, I saw that someone's doing on the new game an entire playthrough of the pre-sequel only using butt slams.
Nice.
So I say kudos to the guy. Go, man, use that butt, your butt powers to the best of your ability.
Bubble, bubble, bubble,
My anaconda don't want none unless you got butt, son. You should have that song just playing throughout the entire thing.
You do the entire Let's Play? Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, just in the background.
Oh, very good, very concise review there, Chris. Good job. And one of these days I might go and review Borderlands 1 because I played that one to death, and I think you played Borderlands 2 to death more than one, so that'll be interesting. I think that should be fun. And I played all the DLC for number 1, so that's quite cool. Including the one where Claptrap becomes a ninja, but I think we'll go into that at a later date.
Oh, fuck.
Tom, tell me about Faster Than Light.
We're not even doing a segue into this.
Well, unless you can make it faster than light.
Okay.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, son.
Coming up with
You
something.
just did one.
What?
Segue.
Tony duked you out, man. Tony duked you out. He
I am the
beat to it.
king of segues, I am.
Yeah. He got you to introduce his segue. That is just that segue ninja. That is.
I missed that. I'm going to have to listen back to that. Right. Faster Than Light is a top-down real-time strategy video game created by indie developers, Subset Games. So, let's go straight into it. The player controls a Faster Than Light spacecraft belonging to the Galactic Federation of Peace and Goodwill and Happiness, which is on the verge of collapse after losing a war against the human supremacists' rebel forces run by Ashley Williams. Because we all know she's a massive space racist.
Yeah, okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Damn aliens taking our jobs. Yeah, go on.
Eat your gird, yeah. So you command a crew who intercepts a data package from the rebel fleet containing vital information that could throw the rebels into disarray and ensure a Federation victory. But you've got to jump across the back-asswards end of space filled with danger, giant space spiders.
Oh, wait a shit. You're talking about FTL, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what your game you're talking about now. I was like, I don't even know what this game is.
Yeah, you played this game, Tony. I thought you knew what this was.
Yeah, go on. Continue anyway. It just twigged with me. Maybe it's the beer. I'm on my third beer now, so that's probably what it is. So.
It's like the memory units in
My name's Tony.
Oh, shit, yeah, fuck.
Oh, yeah, I know what we're talking about. Christ.
Go on, go for it.
So yeah, you're fleeing this wave of encroaching rebel forces to get back to your base to ensure your victory, but it's as tight as you can get. This is basically a suicide mission with a 10% survival chance, and that's not including victory.
Yeah.
So at the start, you choose your spaceship with several specific system rooms. You get to choose. You start off with one, but as you play through the game, you unlock more with different layouts. But you get different rooms with your spaceships. You get your pilot. You get your pilot's cockpit. You get your engines, your weapons, your life supports, your med bays.
I'm usually the pilot.
Yeah, I always make it the pilot. I always try and get people I know into it. Tony, Chris, you were actually a space mantis once.
Nice.
Basically, this thing with flurrying claws, and you'd always jump across to the enemy ship and just slice and dice, giggling like Deadpool.
Chimichangas! Yeah, go on.
Chimichanga.
What did I make Tony? I normally either make you a giant rock man or a walking computer.
Okay.
You're good at repairing shit.
Yeah. I prefer to be a walking computer because then I wouldn't have to rely on my laptop to record podcasts.
A podcasting NG.
A
Why
podcasting
not?
walking
Indeed.
machine, yeah. I feel like that most weeks, but yeah, go on.
So yeah, this game randomly generates multiple space sectors, much like your standard roguelike games. It's like 20 or something waypoints per sector, and you're jumping in between and out of them. Normally, you don't have a clue what's at each point. You can either run into a friendly shop owner, maybe a distress call, or maybe even a scout for the rebel fleet, or even a pirate trying to steal, or slaver trying to take your crew. So you start off from each sector, and you've got to jump all the way across to the exit point, which leads you to the next sector before the rebels catch up with you. By that time, they will start hammering you with bigger and better ships. Now, you can upgrade your ship using scrap, and which you can pick up either by destroying enemy ships or just flotsam and jetsam. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. And you upgrade your ship, improving your shield, your weapons, your life support levels. You can even use it to buy other components like a drone command, so you can have drones flying around your ship, protecting it from missiles or raining death onto your enemy ships, which actually becomes quite useful. I always go for defense level 2 drones, and then that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're brilliant. Yeah.
No, you also get certain destinations that you jump into can be hazardous to your ship or your ship's functions. You can jump into asteroid belts or giant
sun.
Thank you. Giant red fire. Sorry,
hot.
I froze there for a second.
Owie, hot.
Giant red stars which send out solar flares which cook your ship.
Fire indeed hot.
Fire, owie, hot.
So yeah, fire bad. We grasped back. Yeah, in combats, it's real time with a pause function, which saves your life because otherwise you'd be dead before long. So you throw your crew into every which way, into the various. Okay, basically, when they were designing this, they wanted to put you in the commander's chair rather than the pilot's chair. They wanted you to feel. This is a direct quote here. They wanted you to feel like Captain Picard shouting at your engineers, "Give me more power," and shouting at your shields to fire. I actually did this one to you, Haley. I would pause the game and say, Haley, do you want to give the command?
Fire everything!
Fire all the things!
Fire all the blasters! Something like that. I don't know. But yeah.
Release the missiles!
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain!
Alright, that's it. You're my engineer next time.
Yeah, there you go.
You fire your weapons at your enemy ships. You've got to keep your systems repaired. You've got to keep your shields up. And successful weapon strikes on either side can damage systems, disabling their functions until repaired by their crew. They can cause hull breaches that vent air into space until patched by the crew. That's actually one of my favorite strategies, if not... Okay, this is my favorite strategy. Take out their oxygen. Let them die. Because then it keeps the ship intact.
Well, yeah, the weakest point of any enemy ship is their life support. You take that out, game over. And then you can just walk onto their ship and take whatever the fuck you like without having to damage anything of value.
Okay, so it's that, followed by sending Space Mantis Chris over there to slice and dice. But there is also a weapon you can get, which is a bio beam, which kills off everything.
Nice.
Disintegration ray.
Not quite. Well, I suppose it's like a disintegration ray. It basically just turns you into
dust.
This could be dust. I prefer this image of just basically turning you into goop. So basically, whenever you have to go across, you have to bring a mop.
So Tom, disintegration ray.
A melting ray.
A goo ray. Yeah.
But no, each aspect you bring onto your ship as you go, because you can recruit new crew members as well. They can change aspects or give you options when you come across some certain options. Say you come across giant space spiders. If you have a bio beam, you don't have to send anyone in, and you don't have to flee. Basically, oh wait, no. Now I remember. It's basically spontaneously combusts organic beings.
Oh,
the things just burst into flames.
So a heat ray.
Yum.
Kind of like a heat ray without actually heating up the actual ship.
Mm.
So, and if you have if you have a rock man, he's immune to fire. If you've got someone who's if you come across a space station screaming out, "Oh help! Our oxygen's on fire. Can you help us out?" then he just bundles in and it's just like, yeah, where's the fire? And just puts it all out.
I like one of the bits in it though, that like if you upgrade like your scanners in the game and like you come up to a bit like that and just like, like normally you'd just be like, oh, we send some people along and see if it happens. Sometimes it will go wrong, won't it? Like it'll be, oh, actually it was bandits and you have to now fight them and the ship's there and stuff like that. But like if you've got like a lot, like if you manage to upgrade your scanners, you can realize it's a trap and then turn it back on them. But like if you don't do that, like, 'cause there's so many other stuff you can put your salvage into, then you can, you know what I mean? You can miss that opportunity, but it's just how you play the game. Like,
so it's roguelike, as I say. But it also comes with a permadeath system. So if you die, that's it. Your game is deleted, and you have to start all over again.
Like XCOM.
Is it like XCOM? That's like the Iron Man setting for XCOM.
Yeah.
You die, that's it.
It's much more quicker of a game though, isn't it? Even if you win, like it's not like a whole campaign of XCOM. Like it's meant for you to die and retry over and over again, isn't it?
Not like Don't Starve after 86 days.
So
I haven't picked up the mouse since.
She's still waiting for the multiplayer Don't Starve Together. She was promised it on one day, but that was actually the release of the beta, which she hasn't got.
Oh, you know, I was actually really excited for that. But...
Yeah, I'm waiting for that as well. I went on it to give it a bash the other day, and it's like, where is it? It's not there.
I promise you, Hayley, by the way, if they've got a deal on it for Christmas when it gets released, I'm buying it.
They had a deal on it last weekend, actually.
Yeah, no, but I was going to get it when the Don't Starve Together was actually out, you know. So I know at Christmas they'll probably do big deals as they usually do. So yeah, maybe a video could be done on that.
It's usually one of those games that always gets thrown in with a sale, so...
Yeah.
But what a better time to not starve together than over Christmas.
Yeah.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh god, a spider run!
Oh, giant spiders! Spider nest.
Flee.
Oh god, the moving spider
The
nest.
beefalo are in heat.
Oh god, Ant-Man!
The beefalo, Jesus. I made the mistake of attacking a beefalo once because I thought I could kill it for food. I died. Quite severely.
So, anyway, the subset game, I was actually shocked to find out, was actually just two people. Matthew Davis and Justin Ma. Both were employees for 2K Games' Shanghai studio, and they became friends during their tenure there, playing various board games in their free time. That was actually the inspiration for the game, tabletop board games.
Yeah.
I don't know precisely which ones, because I don't play board games.
Well, there's a huge amount of them nowadays, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, as I said earlier, their initial concept was they wanted to put the player in the commander's chair, make the player feel like they were in charge of the whole situation, screaming around saying, I need more power to shields, divert power from engines, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They wanted the game to feel like a suicide mission, make it hard but not be frustrating, and everyone can agree that game is hard.
Yeah, what I like about like Fast and Light is that it is hard, but it's one of those games that like when you die, you can pinpoint the exact moment that you made a wrong decision, and with that, I've got no issue with failing because then I know, well, then I should have gone there, I should have done this, I should have maybe put some stars into this. You learn by playing the game, and sometimes things just don't go your way. Like, I hate games where you die and you're like, I feel like I've been screwed out. With this game, you die and you're like, okay, I can actually pinpoint the exact moment I made a wrong decision, that it was my fault. That is not the game, so...
It's like, one thing I like about the game, it really nails the atmosphere, because you're on the ship and you feel alone, like what you have here is what you have. You can't lose anything. You really feel when you lose a crewman, and whenever someone would die, I'd be like, oh, God, no! I need that person to keep me alive. Sorry, hang on. Just a moment. My battery's going low. Professionalism. My name's Tom.
You're running out of salvage, Tom. You're running out of salvage.
Okay, but I was actually shocked to find out that this game was actually focused as an entry for an indie game competition.
All right.
It was not actually, the original intention was just to enter it in, see what they could do with it. It didn't actually win the what was the competition called? The August 2011 Game Developers Conference in China, the Independence Game Festival there, and this is actually a lovely fact I found out. Their preliminary versions used primitive art assets which allowed them to focus on the game. And this helped them realize that they were trying to help the player become invested in the characters they controlled, allowing their imagination to fill in the graphics at the time could not. Only as they neared the actual events did they start focusing on the game's art.
All right.
So,
See, I like that idea, right? Because as you say there, they went forward for a competition, and then obviously it went on from there. A game I reviewed before, Dust and Elysian Tale, was done exactly the same way. And Dust and FTL are games that like I would recommend to anyone. Like they're amazing. You know, they're love childs. You know what I mean? You know, of certain people. So yeah, when people look at these these competitions that have like, you know, you think, oh, all these indie games are kind of crap. That could be the next big thing, you know, that you might be seeing, you know, and you don't see it happening. So, yeah.
Give you an idea of how well FTL did. After the contest, they decided to go for a Kickstarter. They had a $10,000 goal. Do you know how much they got?
Go on.
$200,542.
Jeez.
I don't even know how many more times that is to their goal. Mathematicians, answer below.
That's your homework. Yeah.
That's your homework. So, yeah, and then in November 2013, they announced an advanced edition was under development, it didn't cost anything. It was just an add-on, an update, which added new events, ships, equipments, and other features to the existing game. It was just free. And how many people do that?
It was a mini expansion
nowadays.
A mini expansion. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
A free expansion.
Yeah.
So yeah, Faster Than Light has received nothing but positive reviews, with praise for the game's captivating nature and means of tapping into the imagination of the players who envision themselves as captains of their starships. The game's approach in setting has been compared to science fiction works. Let's see, Ben, and people will hate me who know this guy. Ben Kuchera of Penny Arcade reports FTL sci-fi by way of roguelike genre, while others have compared it to Star Trek and Star Wars, which understandable. PC Gamer awarded FTL in its short form Game of the Year of 2012 awards, and the game has won both Excellent Design and the Audience Award, and was the finalist for the Seamus McNally Grand Prize Awards for the 15th Annual Independence Game Festivals, and was also named the Best Debut Title at the 2013 Game Developers Choice Awards.
Drenched in awards.
Much like that game that we keep railing about, Destiny. Some reviewers have criticised the game's difficulty level, but I like to just... Hang on. Sparky Clarkson at Game Critics wrote, FTL is an absurdly, cruelly difficult game. Sometimes you just want to go up to these people and just slap them across the face and say, just quit your whining.
Stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah. I think that's why everyone just like was very, very shocked by Dark Souls, because it harkens back to the it harkens back to the days where games don't give you shit for free. They don't hold your hand. You are just you've got to go do this. Buff, off you go. It's like, okay, what are the buttons? You don't need to know. Just go. Okay.
Tell you've got a manual. Look it up. Oh, you can't pause, because, that would be easy.
Yeah.
Pause.
That's like
what kind of social life are you leading? You're a gamer. Gamers have no friends.
Like, that's one of the things I'm realising playing the Broken Sword. I know it's a completely different style of game, completely different, right? But I'm playing the new version that was updated for iPads and stuff, so it was completely remade. They actually have new content and everything, which is really awesome, right? But when you've originally played the game, like, the game is, at some points quite hard. It's a puzzle game. You have to learn and do things for yourself. But in the new version, because obviously it's updated and it's to newer audiences, which aren't as forgiving, they want instant gratification. They have like little pointers on the screen to things that are interactable, whereas usually you'd have to hover around, have a look around on the art yourself. They've got a hint section, so you can just click it and it gives you the fucking answer, which back in the days of 1995, you didn't have that. You didn't even have the internet to be able to do that. So when I look back at that, there was a point in the Let's Play where I actually got a little bit stuck, and just because it's there, I was like, well, should I use the hint? I was like, no, that's not what this game is about. Like, you need to learn the game. You need to, through adversity, you become stronger, and I find that with Faster Than Light as well.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's played that Zelda game that's got the water temple level in it, which everyone hates.
Ocarina of Time,
which everyone hates for being really difficult and really tedious, because you get very little hint on what to do. You're just thrown into it and expected to solve it by yourself. Kids these days growing up with games like Call of Duty, which holds your hand all the way through it.
I thought it just plays the game for you.
Yeah, like it basically
Take out that
goes,
guy. What guy? Oh, too late. You had your NPC do it.
yeah. And,
Take out that tower of
like,
people.
then-
With what? With this convenient magical warfare device that will destroy everything by the vengeful finger of God.
Yeah, and like they'll never understand that, and like I quite like games that kind of challenge you and that are hard. Even though Dark Souls took it to the degree they came onto the gaming industry and gave it a good thorough spanking, going, no, this is how a game needs to be played.
I want to see you beg.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there playing and going, mercy, mercy.
There is no mercy here. There is only Dark Souls.
I still haven't got past like the first 5 minutes worth of story in fucking Dark Souls. Oh, that game's got my number. Damn.
It beat me into submission as well. I haven't got that far in it, but yeah. Anyway, back onto Faster Than Light.
I know not to.
Back onto FTL.
Yeah. Well, what else is there to say? It's a beautiful little indie little game that's captured my heart.
Simulation, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it a simulation? No, it's a strategy game.
Real-time strategy.
Yeah. One thing I want to add about it though, I know the music is really stupidly simplistic. I fucking love the music in this game.
You say that, the game's soundtrack has been nominated for IGN's Best Overall Music and Best PC Sound of 2012.
I love it. I'd love to buy the soundtrack on its own. I think it's brilliant.
You're actually selling that somewhere.
Ooh, I might have to look into that. Good stuff. So, Tom,
I think I could actually pinpoint. This is the game that encouraged my love for the indie scene. I bought this game and suddenly I was all about the indie games.
Yeah. Oh man, and you know what? Faster Than Light did something on the scene that hasn't been done before. And you know what? There's a lot of games that are propped up that have tried to do the same thing, and it can't do the same thing. It's just, it's sad when you look at a lot of other stuff like that. But
this is truly a gem. This was just a beautiful little find.
Yeah. Oh, I love this game. I think it's brilliant. So, in wrap, do you give it your pour of approval? And would you recommend people buying it right now?
I give it 2 paws of approval and a cheeky kitten grin.
Ooh, wow. Ooh. A Cheshire cat grin for the
Cheshire grin of the kittens. Just be like, you want to play this.
I will double your double paw of approval.
Because you're going to love it. Yeah. You know you're going to love it.
I would double your paw of approval. I'll give my 2 paws of approval for that as well. I think Faster Than Light is an absolute beautiful game.
So that is a quadruple paw of approval with a Cheshire grin to go with.
Yeah.
That is an entire cat right there.
Anyone playing this game, right? If you die straight away, please it's just you need to understand the mechanics. Keep playing it. I guarantee you'll keep playing it and you won't be able to fucking stop. I wasn't. I just kept playing.
This is a game that will earn your love, but you have to push to earn that love as well.
Is it a Pringles game?
It is a Pringles game. It's very Moorish.
Yeah.
You die
and
once.
once you pop, you can't stop.
It's not difficult enough that it makes you rage quit. I think the worst, it just makes you grit your teeth a little bit more and just be like, right, so that's how it's going to go. Fine.
I learned from my mistake. I won't do it again. Let's try again. Let's do it all over. And yeah.
Then it's just when you die to the boss fight, and then you're back there again, and you're just like, so, we meet again. All hands! Battle stations! Raise the shields! 4 weapons fire! Take this motherfucker out!
Someone put on my 2 Steps from Hell soundtrack. Let's do this.
Live to win!
Communications officer, battle music.
Yeah, I would akin it to Haley's love of Don't Starve.
You say love, I say love-hate. A strong hate. I'm not talking to it right now.
Oh.
Sooner or later, they're gonna make up, and they're just gonna have an all-night fiesta.
Yeah, sooner or later, I will crawl back into those.
Well. Look who's come
arms.
crawling back.
Yeah.
I guess you could say you were starving for attention.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, right, Haley, that maybe what you need to do with Don't Starve is maybe you need to just hold it close. Okay, you need to whisper into its ear and tell him how much you've been playing Whispering Willows.
Oh, that was beautiful. It's an amazing segue.
Oh, I am the king of segues. I shall put my crown back on. There we are. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, Whispering Willows. I have no clue what the hell this game is, so this should be interesting.
Well, it's actually a game that it's a sort of game that I don't usually play. It's an adventure game, and it's almost... Is it a rolling game?
Side-scrolling, I suppose.
Side-scrolling, yeah. It is side-scrolling.
2D side-scrolling.
It's very retro
Okay.
in its design. However, it's quite a new game. It's only been out. It came out this year.
Like Organ, like a little bit like you did Organ Trails. Like it's retro in design, but it is new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I think the idea and the feel of it, but it's okay. Tom, what's your opinion then?
From what you've showed me, Hayley, I would say that the game mechanics are simplistic, but the art is gorgeous.
Oh, is it now, Tom? Oh, I thought it was rather a bit DeviantArt-ish.
I'd say it looks
pretentious fuck.
I did say it looked DeviantArt-ish, but I'll tell you what, I much prefer DeviantArt level drawings to shit 3D effects like you see in most crap half-assed games you see nowadays.
Like Slaughter, like was it the game
Slaughterhouse?
The one that got done by Digital Homicide that we talked about earlier on. That game was fucking awful.
Yeah, Digital Homicide, you guys suck.
And you're going to get sued by Mickey Mouse. But anyway, yeah, continuing.
Well, yeah, it's quite a new game, as in it was first released on the Ouya. Is it pronounced Ouya?
Ouya.
Ouya.
The Ouya.
Ouya.
In May this year, and it was then released on Windows, Linux, OS X, and on Steam in July. And it's a very indie game as well, released by a new company called Nightlight Interactive, which is just a few guys. And I love my favourite point about this is that the plot is 2 lines on Wikipedia because it is so simple. I will read it to you because it's so simple. Young Eleanor Elkhorn embarks on a harrowing journey to find her missing father and discover the secrets of Willow's mansion. Aiding her journey is a unique amulet she received from her father, which allows her to astral project her spirit into a ghostly realm and communicate with the dead.
And that's it.
It's simple, yeah, it's simple. And it's not a new idea of going to search a haunted mansion, but rather than being afraid of the ghosts, she communicates with them, and they help her on her journey to find her father, and she also helps them to find peace to resolve ongoing problems. And you have their stories unfold in random notes that you find around. Again, very repetitive devices that have been used in games over the years, but I haven't really seen a game where the character has been able to astrally project to talk to other ghosts. And I'm sure Tom said that he's seen some do that, but
I can't remember the game titles of such, but I'm pretty sure it's not a new game mechanic.
But I quite like its simplicity. However, so even though she's not afraid of those ghosts, doesn't say there aren't any evil things that can scare her. It is a puzzle game, and it is a mansion where the owner did some rather demonic work, and he's pulled his soul to pieces would be the best way to describe it. And I don't think that this would be much of a spoiler, because there are almost things that look like spiritual scorpions that you can only see in certain lights and such, and you really come to rely on your ability to astrally project to be able to work your way around these various puzzles because it is above all a puzzle game. So you really rely on the astral projection to work around these monsters and puzzles. So at some point when that ability is taken away, it almost feels as if the cord has been cut loose. And it does actually really hit. I felt it hit me as well. I genuinely felt, hang on a second, I don't feel so safe anymore. Which is it's good to unnerve the player. I was about to say the audience. No, it's not the audience, the player in this instance. And they've got a great list of characters, great list of personalities, and a great story. However, and I've read a few critics who said this, it's not long enough. It is an indie game, and it's a new indie developer, and it's been nominated for various awards all this year. But it's too short. It needs more to it, more substance to really satisfy the palate. And I would almost argue that the ending itself, without giving it too much away, the ending itself is rather unsatisfactory, where it kind of that makes everything better and everyone's happy, and you make the bad guy better and good again. And it's just a bit too Disney at that point, and I kind of enjoyed the nitty-gritty side of it. That's all. Well, it's not all, but that's what I have to say about the game. But I'm saying that I did enjoy it, and it was scary, and it did unnerve me, which is always a good thing to do. And they're constantly updating it still. They've added a running feature so that she can run. And yeah, and they've just because they were nominated for 3 awards recently. They had put it on sale, which is why I bought it. But of course, it's not on sale anymore.
How long has it been out?
And it has been out since July this year.
Okay, so
and it's not that much though either.
And it's an indie game. These things go on sale pretty cheap though, pretty early, don't they? So
yeah, it's is selling for £10.99 in pounds.
yeah. So whatever.
That's for your benefit, Tony. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It'd probably be like £12.99 or something over here or something like that. So.
Yes.
So, sorry, what were the awards that this game was nominated for?
The awards were the recent ones they had in America was the Ouya. Is it Ouya again? Ouya?
Ouya.
Ouya.
Ooh yeah.
Game Jam, the most immersive. They won first place in the most immersive category. Then at the Seattle Indie Game Competition, they won first place there. Then at the Casual Connect USA, they won the Best Story Award, and that was the last 2 were this year. Then they were nominated for 3 in Europe. At the Game Connection Europe, they were nominated for Best Downloadable Game, Best Casual Game, and Best Storytelling.
Oh wow!
So quite a few awards, and it has had a small budget. It did go on Kickstarter. That was last year, and it had 750 backers. It only got I say only. It had to aim for $15,000, but it got $20,000. So it was able to do translations. So it has since been translated into, where does it say? I know it said it somewhere. Here we go. Spanish, German, French, Italian, Russian, and Polish.
Oh, nice.
So they're doing really well.
It only does well for them to be able to reach out to other places. Like if it's something that's is like you say, like story based in that sense, then like I keep going back to it, but like Broken Sword is like the same thing. Like they had to do the same thing, like make it so they actually get new voice actors and that stuff. And that's a different type of game, but.
Yeah.
Like, with these indie games, sometimes getting out to different areas and making a game accessible in different countries is a lot harder than people think. So.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, with because trying to get it's not simple. Type into Google Translate for anyone out there who's stupid enough to think that. It's the way that sentences are constructed in different languages are different.
Yeah, we got all your base are belong to us from really bad translation. So
your base are belong to us.
Or was it there was one in Final Fantasy X? I really want to be a blitzball. You go, kid. You be that blitzball. We'll kick you all around the place. Huh? No, it's that's in Killiker. The kid really wants to be a blitzball. I say we let him be a blitzball.
Well, cut his head off and he can, by all means, be a blitzball.
Well, there was a thing a little while ago of a professional singer who put the lyrics from Frozen's Let It Go into Google Translate, translated it into different languages, and then retranslated it back into English. And the results are like really, really cool. Because one of them is just like, give up, give up. It's like, no.
Wrong message there.
Yeah.
Fuck it all.
Yeah, so you can't really trust Google Translate too much.
Nah.
No, not at all. I learnt that very
I think everyone learned that.
Yeah.
I think everyone's learned that lesson in one way or another.
Yeah, well, I mean, simple languages, like, I say simple, but translating English to Italian, Latin, or French, all 4 languages deriving from the same basis, which is Latin, translating them either way, you've got to reconstruct the whole sentence structure.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't take into account.
Yeah, which you can't take into account.
Because it's just a simple machine.
And then don't even get started on German. That's got 6 different sexes almost of words.
No wonder Hitler went weird.
Well, no, you've got masculine and feminine in French, Spanish, and Italian.
Yes.
For say a mano, a mana, and that's.
Were you guys expecting a literary lesson at this point?
Sorry.
I was hoping for one silently, but
Yeah. So wait.
lesson.
No, wait. So you get male and female in
Masculine and feminine.
masculine and feminine. Sorry.
Yes, very. You've got to get it right.
What?
Not male and female, but masculine and feminine.
So what else can you get?
I
Because
don't
there's at
know,
least
but-
4 others. So what do you
No,
get?
no.
God? Do you get dog? Do you get feline?
get
You
something in
Africa?
between.
No, but I think it has something to do with verbs and different verbs and tenses, possibly.
And like that, she lost me.
We're going to take a class in Spanish or something.
Next week will be welcome to the Kittens of War Gaming Podcast. We're not reviewing any games, but get ready, get a notebook out. We're doing some language. There you go.
Say, hola!
Yes, I need
Me llamo
Yeah.
Just the Spanish equivalent of hello and welcome to the Kittens podcast.
Oh.
Hola.
Bienvenido.
Buenas noches. Me llamo Tony.
Yeah.
Benvento is welcome. Bienvenido a Kittens
Podcast.
or Gato podcast.
Podcast de Cato.
Podcast de Gato.
At least it's not like our broken Japanese that we're doing last thing. Wakon kitaru wo gimeru. Super show.
That thing, doesn't it? We had a guy.
Timer.
Oh, don't tell me you had a Japanese guy and you were trying to protect this.
No, we weren't.
We didn't have a Japanese guy. We were still taking the piss.
What started that? What even started that? It just like someone did it, and then it just like snowballed into us all just going.
I think it was from. It was from
Chris,
like.
Chris, I am looking. I would be looking at you. I'm looking into the webcam as though I'm looking at you.
Me? I didn't start it. I'm pretty sure it was Tom that started it. Actually,
I think it was Tony actually.
I like how you.
I know who started it. I know who started it. It was neither of us.
This
it was
is
Matt.
exactly like our Trouble in
Matt
Terrorist
started
now,
it.
isn't it?
Oh, that's the trouble.
Because
mate.
he was
You got to start.
referencing the stereotypical guy that's in that episode of Futurama that's like Ayanu Shafaru, and then we just suddenly everything had to be done in the same
Tony
way.
Senpai.
Yeah.
Oh no! Tony was Tony Super Fun Timer.
Oh, I wish I did.
What's that, Daddy?
Reality climax.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every time you failed, we referenced Shogun 2. Shameful display.
Yeah.
Oh, we're terrible human beings.
We are.
I'm so sad I missed it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get to watch it in all of its video glory.
Yeah.
when-
I just thought it was ironic because I'd actually been playing Shogun 2 earlier that day. I was playing Shogun 2. I had a shameful display at one point. Shameful display. Fuck you, computer. How dare you judge me?
That was not my fault. That was the AI.
Finish him.
Let's get back on track. Let's
Sorry,
talk
Matt
about
had the Mortal Kombat theme for the tank.
let's talk about Whisperu Willow.
Oh no! Sorry. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Haley?
It's fun. Yeah, like I said, it was short. It's too short because I finished it really too quickly. And I said, I've always batted on about the story of how important it is and how people play story for escapism. And that I should have said that in my news, actually. I had a tutorial at university recently, and whilst creative writing and gaming might seem very different, I realised that when I battered on about how terrible Final Fantasy 13 are for foregoing the story almost, just in favour of the glitzy sparkles of graphics and such and prettiness, and look what we can do in showing off. My tutor basically said that I've been doing the same thing with my stories.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god.
She uses such elaborate literary techniques when it comes to writing.
I try and describe things too much rather than getting on with the flipping story.
Yeah, I've been told that before, Hayley. So
anyway, getting on with this story. The story in Whispering Willows is really good, to the point, simple. The introduction is a series of still images, still drawings that are just drawn and to simulate. It's very simple. It's kind of like the first 9 minutes of Up, where it's a silent love story that tells a whole life together. It's like that. So simple, so straightforward, no voice is needed, and it lets you know what's happening.
The story is all it's interested in telling.
Yeah. And on that note, again, there's just not enough story, which you can't really knock them on with too much because it's an indie game.
It's almost a regret more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they could re-release it with more, and they
might do a director's cut or something. Who knows?
Yeah. A cop out of regretful directors.
But would you give it your paw of approval? That's the big question. That's what everyone wants to know. Would you give it your paw of approval?
I'm tentative to do that because a lot of people are giving it like mid-range scores. Yeah, Metacritic is very middle range, and I think it's a good experience. So I think it's nice to experience, and I would give half a paw. Can I give half a paw?
You can give half a paw.
Yeah.
I'll give half a paw.
That was actually going to be my follow-up question.
Hey, I'm going to sit on the fence.
Yeah.
That's sit on the fence, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. I got that. I enjoyed that.
Now.
I enjoyed that. That was good.
So would you recommend it for the price it is?
For the price it is... No. I want to say no because I want them to do more.
You expect more?
No, it's not that I expect more. I want them to put more into it. I want them to earn my money. I want them to earn my love. So
basically you're saying this feels like a charity?
On your part. It's kind of like you see, the thing is, what I learned a long time ago, if someone's scoring you and you give them a 10, they're not going to try any harder. If you score them a 9, they're always going to be reaching a little bit higher, a little bit further to get that 10.
You're treating them mean to keep them keen.
Yes, that's exactly it.
You're only being mean because you believe they can do better.
I'm being a cruel parent. You see, thank God we haven't got kids yet, guys.
You're a doctor? No, talk to me when you're a doctor.
I thought I would be the same thing, and then I looked at my child and I was like,
talk to me when you're a doctor.
But I was like that. I thought I was going to be like that, and I looked at my child. I was like, I fucking love you. Everything you do is amazing. I was like, okay. So the switch had changed.
Child ever.
Okay, so yeah, half a paw of approval. I'll allow that in the kitten court. Yeah, there is such a thing in some place, a kitten court somewhere. A little bit of news that references to the fact. I thought I'd let you guys know this at the end of the podcast because we talk about games and we talk about cats here on this show. The Grumpy Cat will be appearing as a guest host of Monday Night Raw next week.
Yay!
I'm going to have to review that shit. So
hang on. Grumpy Cat, the internet sensation, is going to be
hosting Raw.
Yeah, sorry, I can't repeat that sentence because it's just.
I have to review that.
Comprehend this.
I have to review that on like 2
bunny
episodes.
rabbits and crocodiles, and now the Grumpy Cat.
Yeah. Oh god. But there we are.
I look forward to hearing you rage out about that, and maybe losing your voice again.
Oh god.
Maybe the next kitten podcast you'll be hearing is, "Hi, I'm Tony."
No, you're gonna have to introduce yourself like oh god.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Good evening.
But I'll put him on Spanish mode, so we do have that. Hola, kitten avo.
Put it on the really racist Japanese mode.
I'm looking it up now.
Gatito.
Gatito is kitten in
so
Spanish.
what's kittens of war in Spanish?
I need to look up war.
What is it good for?
The podcast.
Exactly.
Of course, wherever.
Right.
I'd love to see
That's all, Edward.
those captions all are really weird at.
Okay, so Haley's going to give the official welcome in Spanish now.
Go for it.
Hola.
Hola.
And like that, she's lost it.
Shut up. Well, I know what it is. Like, I don't know how to do the whole sentence. I need to construct.
Okay,
This that's for next episode.
This is
Next
Haley's welcome
episode.
Next week. She's going to be introducing the podcast in Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you guys
Next
enjoyed.
week, guys.
Hope you guys did enjoy this podcast. It's been an awesome little episode. We had lots of juicy news to talk about there. Let us know your thoughts on the career suicide of digital homicide. I think that's quite funny. And our thoughts on Borderlands 2, Faster Than Light, and Whispering Willows. Yeah, great episode this week. We'll be back again next week. And that special episode that we've been alluding to will be released, I imagine, in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. Depending on when the next wrestling pay-per-view is, because as you know, I also do a wrestling podcast, and sometimes there's like so much I can't even look at anything else on the TV because I'm always watching wrestling.
Yeah, we have like 12 hours.
We'll never show you and just keep it as a mystery. Just buy on the DVD special we plan to release.
There's no clues on what it is, but all I can tell you is that you guys will absolutely love it. I'm telling you that now.
It was a lot of fun, even if you were a douchebag.
Lots of competitive.
Why was there a douchebag with it? I was fine.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that to me next time.
I've already got some doozies written down. Oh,
Can you give us a... No. Oh, wait.
I have and you would quail.
Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching the podcast. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe, and share it all around social media. We really appreciate any support that you can give. Keep an eye out for Chris's channel. Hello. He uploads regularly, and like I said, sometimes he'll be uploading actual episodes of this podcast. So if you do want to be catching every episode, that is the place to do it. Leave in the comments, bug Tom and Haley to start their own channel because they have their excuses now. And also keep a track on here for my Broken Sword Let's Play. What videos are you currently doing at the moment, Chris? You're still doing Outlast, aren't you?
I am doing. Outlast is my main playthrough I'm doing at the moment, but I also do a butt ton of other things. Like I do Minecraft, Turbo Dismount, just anything that takes my fancy that's in my Steam list. I'll do a random thing. Like I do a lot of Team Fortress 2, Killing Floor, like prop hunt.
We need to all do Killing Floor at one point.
Yes.
I'll tell you what,
you guys have Killing Floor.
I don't have Killing Floor, but when it comes up at Christmas time, I will buy it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm planning on getting like €60 of like money for like Christmas and just getting a fucking avalanche of games during Christmas sale.
Yeah,
That-
nuts on it.
So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. We do hope you will catch us up again next week, and we really thank you for the time that you spent listening to the podcast. And we'll catch you again next week.
See you next week, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.